Ajaccio.
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 Oh, hi. I'm Leslie, and I am traveling the world on Royal Caribbean's Ultimate World Cruise. We have been sailing for 215 days out of a 9-month journey all around the world. And today we're in Ajaccio. I had to listen to that about 15 times. This is totally not intuitive that that's Ajaccio. So today we are in Ajaccio, France. Our very first day in France. If you watched my last video, we just left our last day in Italy by having a beautiful day in Portofino. So, bonjour France. We have 6 stops in France and I am ready for France to bring it. On so many levels, I am ready for France to bring it. Today is an interesting kickoff because I think you'll probably agree that bring it is maybe not the best way to describe Ajaccio, but let's just go, roll our way through Ajaccio and see what it's got for us. So here's a map of France, and when we zoom in, you can see Corsica is an island off of France. And when we zoom in, you can see Ajaccio is the capital and largest city of Corsica. Right when we walk off the cruise ship, there's an incredible market, which in hindsight, we should have walked through when we first got there because it was closed when we went back to the cruise ship. Bummed us both out, but we didn't hit the market on our way off the cruise ship because we have a specific plan today that we're gonna take the train around Ajaccio. Now, when I say train, okay, this is not our jam at all. Definitely not my jam, but way not Roy's jam. It turned out to be okay, and it was a good way for us to see a lot of the coastline and out to the fort that we wouldn't have seen. We've seen these trains then after that all over Europe, and you know, again, they're a good option to be able to kind of tour the town, but it was just funny because, oh my gosh, like I felt like I was 180 years old on this train, and just, you know, yeah. So anyway, we have a plan that we're going to go on the petite train. And so we want to get over to the train station. It's not even a station. Okay, I'm gonna get through this, I promise. But we have a plan that we're gonna get on the petite train, and we've got to get to the train station so that we can get on the train. And we have several of our friends that are also going to be on the train with us. And so, of course, we want to be together because we really should have brought like a cooler. Made like a party out of it. The petite train would have been really, really, really fun. But anyway, we want to be on the train with our friends, and so we skipped the market to get to the train, and we were bummed out because when we went back to the cruise ship, the market was already closed. But we were able to get to the train and board it with our friends, so that was good. So let me tell you about the petite train. You have a choice of doing a 45-minute train ride or a 90-minute train ride. If you do the 90-minute, it goes to the Napoleon Cave and to the Isles Sanguinaires, which is way out on the coast. We chose the 90-minute option because we did want to go all the way out to the coast. If you do the 45-minute, it's about 8 euros. If you do the 90-minute, it's 11 euros. Honestly, for 11 euros to be transported out to the coast and back again, from a transportation perspective, it was well worth it. Along the way, there's a recording that tells you all about all the sites that you're seeing as you go. So that was valuable as well. It just felt really goofy, to be honest. You can see the pickup spot for the train just outside the TI building. And if you're not familiar with these TI buildings, we saw them all over the world. They are tourist information buildings, and if you're unsure about what to do in the area, if you have questions about what you are doing, we had questions about where we needed to pick up the train. They are super helpful. They have maps, they have information about tours, they can help you coordinate it. They are a wealth of information, and you'll see TI, I'll put a picture of it here, on the building so that you know that's what you're looking for. And be sure to stop in there if you ever need any help, no matter where you are in the world. So we take the train out.
La fontaine est due à Jérôme Maillon, 1800. Le Grand Hôtel, actuelle assemblée de Corse, et son jardin.
We stop at the Napoleon Cave. Napoleon came here quite often to meditate, and it's just kind of an open square with steps and of course a statue of Napoleon. And Napoleon very much intrigued us because we had seen him and his presence and his involvement in so many different countries all over the world. France, Italy, the Netherlands, Spain, Switzerland, and even various German states. Effectively controlling much of continental Europe at the height of his power. The coast along here is so beautiful. The water is beautiful. A beach day at Ajaccio. Oh, how do you say it again?
Ajaccio.
The beaches in Ajaccio would be a really good option here. Because again, the reason why we chose the train is that, you know, there's just really not a lot to do here. It's kind of another place to just kind of sit and chill. So the beach would be a really good option if this is one of your cruise ports, or just to have a nice relaxing day. And the water is so beautiful. There's a huge cemetery that you'll see out to the coastline. It covers 5 blocks and began in 1834. It's well maintained by the families of the deceased that are buried here, and when seen from the water or from the air, it looks like a small village. There's a local rumor that has it that during World War II, the Germans entered the Bay of Ajaccio to shell the city. The locals turned out all the lights in Ajaccio and instead put lights and candles in the cemetery, deceiving the Germans, who shelled the cemetery instead of the town. No lives were lost. If you take a boat tour in the evening, you can see the cemetery from the water, and it really does look like a little town. And you can see it here even from driving by. They have a whole bunch of mausoleums that look like houses. Obviously, we didn't stop, but the tour guide said just stopping at the cemetery and walking through there is a journey and an experience in and of itself.
Full of marble.
À ma gauche, la cathédrale. La rue de Lamparo est ensemble de Notre-Dame de la Miséricorde.
The first entered the old town, dating from 1492.
Once we finished our epic train ride, it actually was fine. It was fine. It just was goofy. But it allowed us the ability to get around. We saw the sights. It gave us a little audio of what we were seeing, and it was fine. It was just goofy. But anyway, once we got back to the train station, which isn't a station, it's just where the train's parked. But once we got back there, we decided we're just going to walk around a bit, and we definitely want to see the Napoleon Museum. I'm going to tell you about the museum, and I'm going to show you some pictures of the inside of the museum. Like I said, we were very intrigued with Napoleon and his impact in the world, and so we weren't going to miss the museum. But in hindsight, I would tell you to just take pictures of the outside and skip the inside. We didn't really think it was worthy of the entrance fee to get in. That was just our opinion. Napoleon's museum is the Maison Bonaparte. This is the ancestral home of the Bonaparte family. It's located on the Rue Saint-Charles in Ajaccio. The house was almost continuously owned by members of the family from 1682 to 1923. Napoleon himself was born here on August 15th, 1769. So you can see from the pictures, the fact that he was born here was kind of another one of those moments that we're standing in the space where Napoleon was born. That was super cool for us. But yeah, take a picture from the outside and you were standing at the home of Napoleon, and that'd be enough. So we decide we're gonna leave there and we're gonna wander the streets. We stop and get an excellent lunch on the water. And if you watched any of my videos, you know that I did quite a bit of research on each one of the ports to make sure that we had at least 2 or 3 restaurants that were highly recommended for each port, so that we weren't searching the city to try to find something good to eat. If there is nothing worse for me than sitting down to eat food and spending the money and then not eating good food is just so annoying. And I'm a huge foodie, so I'm super open to trying different things. I just don't want to spend a crazy amount of money on something that isn't good. And so we, the couple restaurants that we had were in further and we were starving. And so we decided to go on a limb right on the water, which is super touristy. It was worried about it, but my salad was excellent. And of course, Roy had a pizza and both were really, really good. And then we decided we were gonna walk through town. We wanted to be sure to see the Ajaccio Cathedral. And then there's a main kind of shopping street and a restaurant street that we saw on the train ride. So we want to see that, kind of make our way back to the cruise ship and to the market. Like I said, when we got back to the market, it was already closed up shop, which was a bummer because we really wanted to see it. We missed it in the morning. Just a sweet, simple, delicious lunch. Sweet, simple day in Ajaccio, and a great way to just kick off what's just going to get better and better and better as we make our way through France. So I would love to hear your comments on if you've been to Corsica, where you've been, if you've seen Ajaccio, if you've ever been on these little trains anywhere in the world, what you've thought of them. Just any comments about the video today, be sure to put them down below. Don't forget to subscribe because you want to see these upcoming stops in France. As I said, they get better and better. And then like, what? Like, I'm just so excited to share all of it. So don't forget to subscribe so that you know when those videos are posted. And as always, thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. I love sharing it with you. I'm so grateful for you being along for the ride, for the sail, for the train ride, for all of it. Just thank you. And next up, oh, where are we next? Where are we next? Next up, we are in Cannes. And I've been to Cannes and Nice. We have Cannes, and then the next day we have Nice. And I've been to Cannes, and I loved it. It just feels so, you know, it's the French Riviera, so it's, again, just money, French Riviera. So I'm excited to go back to Cannes, and we have a fun day planned in Cannes, and so I hope you'll come along for that too. And until Cannes, bye for now.